Hey everyone, excuse the backdrop. I am in my daughter's room right now. This is the only place I can fly it inside the house without the dog trying to get it. I can close the door in here. It's got a good open area. But I want to do a quick review on the Blade Nano S2. This is a collective pitch micro helicopter. A little bit of background about me. I have flown RC airplanes and I've driven cars. Never flown a helicopter successfully. I tried once, crashed it, put it on the shelf, never picked it back up. So that was, gosh, I sold all my airplanes about 7 years ago. Got a couple left, but pretty much all my equipment's gone. And honestly, that helicopter was trashed after a move. So I am wanting to do a review on the ready-to-fly version. So I'm going to be flying it with this radio. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I couldn't really find too much on the internet for this. Not a video creator, so this is probably not going to be edited or anything. It's just going to be simply showing you guys how this flies with this radio. I don't have a Spectrum radio. I did, but I sold it with my airplanes, so I did not want to invest that much. I am practicing social distancing right now. I'm sitting at the house and working from home, so wanted to figure out something I can do while I'm in the house and at least in my yard, and this was it. So I nearly bought the fixed pitch. The 70S, I believe is what it's called, but was taught into this because of these settings right here. You can see 0, 1, and 2. I don't know if you can see it, the lighting's too bad. But there's a switch here with 3 different modes, 0, 1, and 2. 0 being, it's not activated at all. Okay, it's not going to be throttled up. 1 will make it fly like a fixed pitch helicopter, kind of like the 70S. So I'm going to demonstrate that now. I'm not flying 2. I'm not that skilled. This is my third or fourth battery. I think it's my third battery with this helicopter so far. So not really much flying time, but I want to show you guys how well this thing flies with just the standard radio that it comes with. And so I'm going to put it in mode 1. As you can see, it activated. And then let's take it off. Hands off, drifting a little bit, so I'm bring it back. A little bit unstable in this room. It's a really small room, guys, really small room. So you've got a lot of prop wash and things like that, but I mean, this thing just flies beautifully. I mean, this is a collective pitch helicopter, capable of doing some pretty good 3D. And it's flying great. Now I just kind of lost it a little bit there, but I'll get out of the way, make sure I'm out of the way of the camera. Take it back off. You want to get it off the ground pretty quickly, if you can. And just get it hovering. Third battery, guys. I've never flown a helicopter before. Oh, this one's getting low on battery already. Hold on. So this is the end of my third battery. But as you guys can see, this thing flies amazing. Just a little demonstration. Now I'm going to put it back at 0. I grabbed the wrong battery. I thought this one was one of the fully charged one, but it's not. So not going to really do much more flying. That kind of speaks for itself. You saw my hands off and things of that nature. I'm going to keep updating this, try to kind of progress with my skill as far as what it's doing. But as you guys can see, that was it. One more thing I wanted to mention about this is you can slam the throttle down like this, and it's kind of act like a fixed pitch helicopter. It's going to drop the RPMs and bring it on down. But it's going to drop the head speed, bring it down to 0. But another thing, what I try to do is if I know I'm going to crash, I go ahead and put this on 0. I fly like this. I fly with my middle finger on the switch, and I can still control everything here. And that allows me to hit that switch to 0 really quickly if I know I'm going into a wall or I know I'm going into the ground. That just helps protect the helicopter. I have crashed it a few times. I actually tore this piece off. I don't know if you can see that. That is the boom protector. One of those things. It flies fine without it. I'm just going to glue it back on eventually. But just wanted to bring you guys that. I know it's not much. It's not a long video. But just if you have any questions. Again, that was the end of the third battery of this Blade S2. Never flown a helicopter before. Haven't been on a simulator in at least 7 years. Never flew a helicopter before that successfully, and that's very similar to my first flight. My first flight was very similar to that. I'm able to fly it around just fine. So it very well could be your first helicopter. You may skip the fixed pitch, go straight to this, because this is going to be a helicopter that I can play with for a long time and really grow my skill and eventually learn 3D with. All in one price. I don't have to upgrade. This is going to be it. I may upgrade receivers eventually just so I can program things, but this is a fantastic little receiver. As you saw, I just flew it just fine. Not 3D, obviously, but it works perfectly fine for learning to see if you really want to invest in the hobby. If you want anything else, just ask me any questions you got. Just let me know. Thanks. Have a good one.